Hi, I'm Jordan Sivright, one of the EVES real estate auctioneers. Buying at auction can feel a bit daunting, but it doesn't have to be. In this video, I'll guide you through the process, help you prepare and share tips to make your auction experience smooth and successful. Auctions are a completely open and transparent process. You see and hear every bid placed, every move made by the other buyers, and you know exactly where you stand. Instead of going in blind, not knowing whether you're in competition for the home or not knowing what the competition is willing to pay, the moment the auctioneer calls for an opening bid, you can see what the competition is prepared to pay to own the home. You see it all. First of all, to buy at auction, you need to be what we call a cash buyer. A cash buyer is someone who has completed all their due diligence, secured their finances, and is fully prepared to make an unconditional purchase without relying on conditions like loan approval or property inspections. Conditional buyers cannot bid at auction. They are buyers who still need their finance approval, maybe require further inspections or reports, or have yet to complete their homework. That gives you, the cash buyer, the distinct advantage. Auctions give you an opportunity to finalise negotiations live on auction day. The sellers are motivated and they want to sell to a cash buyer at auction. So if you're a cash buyer, you're in the strongest position to secure the property before it's opened up to the other buyers. Now, there are many outside influences which can weigh heavily on your mind on auction day. Many misconceptions about auctions stem from a fear of overpaying, but the reality is quite different. Whether it's family, friends, lawyers, or mortgage brokers, don't let outside influences discourage you from buying at auction without a genuine reason. Often we find the better you as the buyer understand the process, the better the experience on auction day. At the end of the day, sellers have chosen to sell by auction because they're motivated to work with cash buyers. They're in selling mode. This creates a unique opportunity for you to secure the property before conditional buyers enter the mix. Waiting until after the auction not only increases the competition, but may also cost you the chance to buy altogether. Remember, no one can force you to pay more than you're comfortable with. You're always in control of your bidding. Preparation is key to success. Here, we'll share our 4 top tips to get you auction ready. Tip number 1, register your interest. Let your salesperson know that you're planning to bid so you're kept informed of any updates throughout the build-up to auction. Tip number 2, do your homework. Review LIM reports, building inspections, and other specialist reports or due diligence that you feel necessary to give you the confidence to buy the home. This could be getting a registered valuation or acquiring a rental appraisal. Have your solicitor check the auction documentation and the property's title to ensure that there are no surprises and you understand the terms and conditions of buying that property. Remember, buying at auction is unconditional. You're committing to the property and there's no calling off period once the hammer falls in your favour. Tip number 3, securing your finances. Arrange pre-approval with your financial lender and ensure that you can pay the 10% deposit immediately after the auction. If you need flexibility with the deposit or settlement date, talk to your salesperson prior to auction. Request that the sellers approve a variation which would allow you to bid. Tip number 4, set your limits. Work out your budget. Know what you can afford to pay and know what you can't. Act first, think second can be a dangerous game, and failing to prepare could result in what I refer to as buyer remorse. If you can't attend the auction in person, you can register to bid via the telephone. This is a simple and straightforward form that the seller also signs, authorising the auctioneer to accept bids from you over the phone. The way it works is we'll have you on the phone with your salesperson, they'll attend the auction and be on the phone to you. I want you to know that bidding via the telephone can sometimes feel like you're on the back foot if the pace of the bidding in the auction room is rather fast. By the time the message gets passed through the phone line, another bid may have already been placed in the room. However, discussing a strong bidding strategy with your salesperson prior to the auction and allowing them to bid on your behalf to a certain level will be a strong strategy to minimize that disadvantage of not being in the auction room. You can also watch the auctions live whilst being on the phone, however there is a few seconds delay, so we suggest if you're watching, watch with the sound off and listen to your salesperson over the phone for a play-by-play commentary. Now let's talk bidding strategy. Auctions can be fast-paced, but with a solid plan in place before auction day, I'm confident you will feel in control. Start by determining 3 key figures. Your ideal price. This is the price that you'd love to secure the property for, and often I refer to this as the champagne price, given the celebration when you buy the property for this number. Your happy price, that's a realistic figure that you'd be satisfied with and is pretty fair all round. Your walk-away price. Now this is the absolute maximum you're willing to pay to own the home, and if it's sold for $1 more to someone else, you'd be okay with that. On the auction day, bid confidently and decisively. A strong opening bid signals to your competition that you mean business. And little hesitation when placing your next bid shows your competition you've got plenty of gas in the tank, whether it's true or not. Avoid reducing the bidding increments and don't be afraid to increase the bid to try and scare off the other buyers. If you're the only bidder in the auctioneer may place vendor bids on behalf of the seller. Don't be scared of this process. All this means is at a certain level, the sellers are happy to continue owning the property. If you want to buy the home or have a chance of negotiating with the sellers, you'll need to bid again. At EVES, vendor bids are only ever placed at a level well below the reserve price, which is the amount the sellers have authorised the auctioneer to sell it for. Regardless of whether you're the only bidder or there's plenty of competition, your goal is to maintain control and always be holding the highest bid. Bid quickly and assertively to keep momentum in your favour, and remember, auctions are a fair process. If you don't win, it simply means someone else valued the property higher than you did, and that's okay. If your bid is the highest and the reserve price is met, well, congratulations. When the hammer falls, you've purchased the property. But before we go off sipping champagne, you'll be required to do 2 things. First, sign the contract. You'll immediately sign the agreement, and if you're bidding by the phone, the auctioneer can legally sign on your behalf. Second, pay the deposit. A 10% deposit is due immediately. This is done through an online bank transfer, so ensure you've arranged approval with your bank for larger transactions before you try to process this payment. If the reserve price isn't met, the auctioneer may pause proceedings to negotiate with the highest bidder. And if that's you, then this is your opportunity to adjust your offer to secure the property. If an agreement is reached, the auction will resume and the property will be sold to the highest bidder. If no agreement is reached, the auction will be passed in or closed and the property becomes available to conditional buyers as well. Buying at auction is a fantastic opportunity when you're prepared. Take the time to do your homework, set your limits, and bid with confidence. If you have any questions, your salesperson or auctioneer is always here to help. Good luck, and we look forward to seeing you on auction day.